Hello dear students, once again I welcome all of you on this online teaching platform introduced by Maratha Vidya Prasarak Samajaj, Srimati Vimlabain Khimji Tejukaya, Arts, Science and Commerce College, Devrali Camp, Nasik. I am Dr. Kiran Rakibe from the Department of English. In today's session, we are going to talk about the concept of semantics. But before we start with the concept of semantics, let us see what we had seen in the previous lecture. Now, during the previous session, we discussed the concept of linguistics. We came to know that linguistics is one of the branches of science that studies the scientific study of language. After talking about it, we also talked about the ways in which linguistics plays an important role in understanding or in studying the literature or various genres of literature, how linguistics is correlated with literature. And then after talking about it, we talked about various areas of linguistics analysis, how various texts are analyzed by using the knowledge of linguistics. Now, let us see what we are going to discuss in today's session in the form of session agenda. Now, in today's class, you will be able to understand the concept of semantics. Then after that, you will be able to understand the meaning of connotative meaning, the concept of connotative meaning, what is a connotative meaning, and after that, you will also be able to understand the concept of denotative meaning and the difference between connotative meaning and denotative meaning. Now, let us see the learning objectives, what you are supposed to achieve towards the end of today's session. Now, by the end of today's lecture, by the end of today's session, you will be able to understand the concept of semantics, what is semantics, and after that, you will be able to differentiate between the connotative meaning and denotative meaning. Understanding the concept of connotative meaning and denotative meaning, you will be also able to understand the difference between these two meanings, how the words can be used with various meanings. Now, let us begin with today's session with the concept of understanding semantics, that is, what is semantics? Semantics is the branch of linguistics. As I have already told you, linguistics is nothing but the scientific study of language and particularly human language. And there are various branches of linguistics and semantics is one of them. So, it is the branch of linguistics. Semantics is one of the branches of linguistics that deals with the study of meanings. It talks about, it discusses, it deals with the study of meaning. Now, where do we find meanings? That is the basic question. There are various meanings and we try to find out meanings in different forms. For example, there are words which have different meanings. The music has its own meaning. A musical instrument can create their own musics. Even the silence itself has some meaning. That means when there is a pin drop silence, it brings out some meanings. But here in semantics, it is the study of meaning in language. So, meanings can be found in language, meanings can be found in sounds, meanings can be found in, as I have told you, music, and meanings can be also found in even silence. But semantics is the branch of linguistics that deals with the study of meanings in language. Now, before we start with the discussion, let us see the difference between language with capital L and language with the small l. Now, language with lowercase l with lowercase means various languages used by human beings, that is English, Marathi, Hindi, Gujarati, French, Chinese and so on. So, when we use language this word with a small l, it means language in specific. Marathi language, Hindi language, English language, and so on. But when we are using language, this word with capital L, it means language in general. That is the human language, the language used by human species, the language general. So we human beings are capable of using language. We are different from other species. We are different from other animals in a way that we can use language for communication. We express our feelings, our thoughts by using language, and that language is called as general language, and then we use capital L. But after that, each country, each area, we can say that area, we have languages. Human beings are capable of using different languages, and then that comes under the category of specific, language in specific. For example, in Maharashtra, some people have Marathi as their mother tongue. So Marathi is a language in specific, or English is a foreign language, English is a world language. So English is language in specific. So when we use the word language with small l, then we are talking about language in specific. But when we use this word language with capital L, then we are talking about language in general, that is the language used by human species on this planet. Now, what is semantics? As we have already talked about its concept, it is the semantics is one of the branches of linguistics that deals with the study of language. But which language? Semantics is the study of meaning in human language, because animals do have their own language, animals do have their own communication, or meanings can be found in different forms, but semantics especially deals with the study of meanings in human language, that is the study of language. Now it deals at different levels. For example, at the initial level, the study of language is dealt at sounds, individual sounds, which comes under phonetics and phonology. How the sounds are produced, how we human beings are capable of producing sounds. So by using the organs of speech, the sounds are analyzed, the sounds are studied, and how each sound has its own meaning, right? After talking about the sounds, the study of language is also dealt at the second level, that is the form. And under the form, there is another branch of linguistics where we study it, that is morphology and syntax. So these are the branches of linguistics. At the first level, at the individual level, the sounds are studied under phonetics and phonology. At the second level, there is the scientific study of forms, that is the morphology, that is the words, how the words are produced, how the words are created, not produced, how the words are created by using those individual sounds in different combinations. So as we know, there are 44 sounds in British RP English, and by using those 44 sounds, we are capable of producing n number of words. Now those words are produced, those meaningful words are produced by using those 44 sounds in proper combinations. So here at the morphology level or syntax level, the language is studied, the form of language is studied, how the words are formed, how the sentences are formed. So after discussing, after studying individual sounds, those sounds are used in proper combination to produce meaningful words, and those words later on we use in proper combination to form the sentences. So unless and until those words are not used in proper combinations, the sentences are not formed, meaningful sentences are not formed. To have, just as to have the meaningful word, we need to put those sounds in proper combinations. For example, say for example, CAT, cat. Now the letters or the sounds k, a and t, these three letters are put in proper combinations. Now if these letters are jumbled or changed. The word order of these letters are changed. The meaning, either the meaning is changed or sometimes the combination becomes meaningless. For example, TCA. If such kind of combination is used, this combination has no meaning. So it becomes the meaningless words. Therefore, at the initial level, the sounds are discussed, and after discussing the sounds, those sounds are put in proper formations, which is called as words, vocabulary. So words are studied at the second level under the heading morphology. So morphology is another branch of linguistics, and those words later on are used in proper combinations to form the proper meaningful sentences. And the study of the meaning of sentences is done under the heading of syntax, which is the next branch of linguistics. And then the language is studied at the next level as far as the meanings of those sentences are concerned, how those sentences are used in different contexts, and how the meaning of a sentence varies context to context. The same sentence, if used in various contexts, the same sentence is likely to bring out different meanings. So in the next level, semantics and pragmatics, as we are going to talk about, it is the study of meanings of those sentences, study of meaning of those words and sentences, how they are likely to bring out the change in their meaning. The same word, if used in different contexts, the word which has the same spelling, the word which has the same pronunciation is likely to bring out different meaning. In the similar way, one sentence used in a particular context is likely to have a particular meaning, but if the same sentence used in another context, the same sentence is likely to bring out the meaning. Therefore, semantics is the scientific study of meanings of words and meanings of sentences. And then the last part is the pragmatics. So, as far as our today's discussion is concerned, our today's lecture is concerned, we are going to talk about the concept of semantics at primary level. The later part of it will be discussed in the next lecture or in the next session. Right. Now, therefore, on the basis of this discussion, we come to know that semantics is the study of meaning in human language. Number one, semantics is the scientific study of meaning of language. Number one, there are two types of languages, language with capital L and language with small l. So here we are not going to discuss semantics as the scientific study of language in particular, but we are going to talk about the role of semantics in scientific study of language in general, that is human language, the language used by human species, different kind of languages, but language as an umbrella term we are going to discuss. So semantics is the study of meaning in human language and how the meaning changes, how the meaning of a particular word changes with changing context, changes with changing topics, changes with the changing person. If the person is changed, the meaning is likely to change. So the meaning of either a word or the meaning of a sentence depends on the intention of the speaker. The meaning of word or the meaning of sentence depends on the intention of the speaker, as well as sometimes it also depends on the listener, how the listeners are likely to bring out its meaning. Therefore, here we are also going to discuss how the meaning changes, the meaning of words or the meaning of sentence changes. Now, we are also going to discuss here the principles that govern the relationship between sentences or words and their meaning. So there are various principles, as I have already talked about it. The principles such as that the sounds need to be put in proper combination so that there will be the meaningful words. On the same level, those words need to be used with proper combination by following certain principles, and if the principles are changed, the combinations of the words are changed, it is likely to bring out the change in the meaning of the same sentence. The same words can be used in different combinations, and those different combinations are likely to bring out the different meanings of those combinations. So here it is also very important that it is the meanings are the principles that govern the relationship between the sentences or words and their meanings. There are certain principles that govern the relationship between the sentences and words and their meaning. And it is also the study of relationship between signs and symbols. Signs are different and symbols are different. So a particular word is used as a sign. For example, a red color or a red signal, for example, the red signal is a symbol. Now what does it, it is a sign, a red color, the signal in a red color is a sign. But what does it symbolizes? It symbolizes stop. When there is a red signal, it is likely to bring out the meaning that it is expected that those who are there, they should stop. So, and green signal symbolizes now you can walk, you can go. So, semantics is the study of a relationship between signs and symbols and what they represent. How different signs have different symbols and how those symbols bring out the change in their meanings. The same sign can be used with different symbols. So, here in semantics, it is the study of relationship between the signs and symbols and what they represent, what those signs represent, what those symbols represent, what meanings they are likely to bring out. Now, before discussing all these things in detail, it's very important to understand these two concepts, the concepts of connotative meaning and denotative meanings. Unless and until you do not understand these two concepts, you won't be able to understand the various meanings, varied meanings that the words are likely to bring out. You might have used different words with different meanings in your life, but you must be unaware of the unaware of these concepts. You are using them, but you don't know that this is called as connotative meaning or this is called as denotative meaning. So let us see what is connotative meaning and what is denotative meaning and what is the difference between connotative meaning of a word and a denotative meaning of a word. Now, let us see what is connotation. Now, connotation refers to the emotions or ideas that you think of when you read or hear a word. Connotation is it refers to the emotions or ideas that you think the moment you read a particular word, the moment you hear a particular word. There are some concepts in your mind, some emotions or ideas you suddenly you think of those ideas, suddenly you come to those ideas or those emotions come in your mind. That is called as connotation. Let us see some example. For example, let us look at the word proud, a very common word that is always used everywhere. Now, proud, while it has a clear-cut denotation, it has its own meaning. It has a dictionary meaning. Everybody knows it. If you refer to your, we are going to talk about it in the later part, what is denotation, but it has a clear-cut meaning in a dictionary that you will find. It has a denotation. The word can have different connotations. Apart from the dictionary meaning, apart from its literal meaning, it has different meanings. And those meanings are called as connotations. For example, it has different connotations for different people. And the meaning of the word proud varies person to person. The meaning of the word proud varies context to context. The meaning of the word proud varies culture to culture, region to region, and that is called as connotation. Now, if you hear the word proud, you might associate it with negative meanings. So, usually the word proud is associated with, connotated with the negative meaning. When you think of a negative aspect of a person, then you say that the person has some negative aspects, such as egoistical person. The person is very egoist. When the person is found to be very egoist, some people use the word proud. Or someone who is making a show off, again the same word is used. So, the word proud for some people has negative meanings, such as an egoist person or a person who makes show off, like that. But apart from this, along with this, it can also have some positive connotations. So, the same word which has some negative meanings, right? So, the moment the word proud is heard or read, some concepts come in your mind, some emotions arouse in your mind, and it depends on person, it depends on context, it depends on that particular situation. So, sometimes that word brings out some positive meanings, and sometimes it brings out some negative. So, apart from the negative meanings, it also has some positive connotations, such as a person who has self-confidence. Proud, I feel very proud that I am Indian. So, here the meaning of the word is used with positive connotations, right? A person who has a talent, person who has a confidence. So, like this, all the words have some connotations as well as denotations. So, connotations are the meaning of the words which are beyond the dictionary meanings, which are beyond the literal meanings. So, writers, usually the authors or the writers, often use words with strong connotations, and particularly in poetry, the poets make use of words with connotations meanings. So, that is the reason why, to understand a poem in a better way, you need to read between the lines. You need to go beyond the words, because most of the times the words are used by the poets with connotative meaning, and therefore you need to go beyond the dictionary meaning to bring out the proper meaning of that particular poem. The same thing happens with other writing, other pieces of writing like novels and dramas and so on. So, in short, it can be said that the writers, the good writers, the experienced writers often use words with strong connotations in order to evoke certain moods in their readers. The purpose behind using words with connotative meanings is to evoke the moods among the readers, the feelings and emotions in the mind of the readers. That is one of the reasons behind using the words with connotative meanings. Now, after talking about the connotative meaning, let us see what is denotation. Denotation is the literal meaning of a word, the meaning of a word which is usually found in a dictionary. So, it is the literal meaning, the common meaning, the meaning that can be found by referring to a good dictionary. So, it is the definition that you would find in the dictionary, the meaning that you will find in a dictionary. For example, if you were to look up the word proud in the dictionary, the same word which we used as an example for connotation in the previous slide, if you look up into the dictionary and you try to get the meaning of this word, then you will get a typical entry, and that would read as having or showing some self-respect or self-esteem. A person who has some self-respect, a person who has some self-esteem. That would be the denotative meaning of the word proud. That is the meaning of the word that we will find in a good dictionary. So, that is the denotation of the word. So, in a very short way, denotative meanings are the meaning of the words which are usually found in the dictionary. Denotation are the meaning of the words which are the literal meaning of the words. And connotative meanings are the meaning of the words which are the extended meaning of the words, which are the meaning of the words which are beyond the dictionary meanings. And the poet or the writers use them in order to evoke, in order to arouse the feelings and emotions or moods in the mind of their readers. And this is one of the reasons why once the poem is published, one particular poem can have more than one meanings. When it becomes the public property, the same poem can bring out different meaning. Even the same reader is likely to bring out different meaning of the particular poem if he reads it more than one or two times. So, it depends on the mood of the reader. It depends on the idea, the meaning that the reader is likely to bring out of that particular word. The connotative meaning that he tries to bring out in order to understand that poem, right. So, that is the difference between connotative meaning and denotative meaning. So, on the basis of this discussion, let us see what we had seen so far in today's class, in today's discussion. Students, in today's lecture, we talked about the concept of semantics. We came to know that there are various branches of linguistics, and semantics is one of the branches of linguistics. Semantics is the branch of linguistics that deals with the meaning of words or the meaning of sentences. In short, semantics is the branch of linguistics that deals with the meaning of human language, right. After talking about it, we also talked about the difference between the language with small l and the language with capital L. The language with small l means the particular language or the language in specific, Marathi, Hindi, Gujarati, Chinese, Japanese, and so on. And the word language with capital L, which means the language in general, that is the language used by human species, human beings. And then after that, we also came to know that the individual words may change when used in sentences. A particular word, it has its own meaning when it is used or heard in isolation, but when the same word is used in a sentence in a different context, it's likely to change its meaning. So, in semantics, semantics also does the scientific study of change in the meaning of the words. How the meaning of the words are changed context to context. And then towards the end of our discussion, we discussed about the difference between literal meaning of the word, that is denotative meaning, and connotative meaning. And denotative meaning is the literal meaning, dictionary meaning, whereas connotative meaning is the extended meaning of the word that also we talked about in this lecture. Now, on the basis of the discussion so far, whatever the discussion we had so far, let us have some session assignment. Students, here is the list of 5 words, right? The words are very common. The words which are used by you so often in your life, the words which belong to your active vocabulary. Now, what you are supposed to do, write down the denotative as well as connotative meaning for the following. It's a very simple exercise. Try to refer to a dictionary and find out the meaning of these words. That would be the denotative meaning. Now, after writing the denotative meaning, also try to get some meanings which are the extended meaning of these words, that is the connotative meaning. So, for each of the words from this list, you are supposed to write both the denotative meaning as well as the connotative meaning. And the list of the words goes like this. First word is smart, bright, dark, open, hot. These are the 5 words, and write down both the meanings, denotative as well as connotative meaning of these words. and you can write down your answers, and you can send your answers, you can send your responses on my official mail ID, that is rakibe.kiran@mvpsvktcollege.ac.in. This was what for today's session. Thank you so much.